Hello there, friends and neighbors. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. This is me, Stella Hendricks, and I have another awesome Playboy review for you today. Oh, the lights. There we go. I just got to remember which way to tilt it, and then we'll be okay. I'm feeling kind of down today. I don't know if I'll be like my regular chipper self, but don't worry about me. I don't have any reason to be down. I just am silly. Everyone is like that sometimes. Oh, I forgot. This is May 1981. This one also, it has a really long, interesting article about Dorothy Stratten in it. We're going to skip right over that because I'm going to read the whole thing and do another like separate video on that one article. So we haven't forgotten it. We're just skipping over it a little bit. Temporarily. All right. You may feel like you're hallucinating as Space Movie International Harmony gathers the real thing, a trip based on NASA documentary footage, some of it grainy, most of it spectacular, much of it never before shown, with additional film from the Soviet space program. Music by rock composer Mike Oldfield enhances this audio-visual essay about the first moonwalk. Isn't that cool? So it goes on for a little bit longer, but I just think that's so interesting, and it reminds me of when Elon Musk launched the Falcon Heavy, and there was going to be a video of it, and I was so excited to watch it, but for some reason in my head, I expected that it would look kind of like, you know, the really grainy footage that we're accustomed to seeing, like with the moon landing and stuff. And it wasn't like that at all, of course. It was modern, clear, beautiful, crisp footage. And it was just, oh my gosh, it was, you know, second only to a spiritual experience watching those rockets take off. And it's really, really cool. Also, randomly, I noticed that this girl in this ad for a movie, Lovers, Moore and Barnes, Sunday Lovers, that's Roger Moore. Oh, he's one of the James Bonds, isn't he? And let's see, what's her last name? Barnes. What the heck? Priscilla Barnes. Maybe not in real life, but in this picture, she's giving me Holly Madison vibes. Oh, also, so cool and funny. Get off. Is, look what movie just came out. Indiana Jones. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that's the first one. Yeah, because that's the chick who plays his girlfriend in the first one. They should have made more Indiana Jones movies, and then we could have more Indiana Jones girls. Like the Bond girls, right? Oh, okay, yeah, here's something good and worthwhile and important. As you already may know, the New York Court of Appeals ruled in our favor in People versus Onofre and declared the New York consensual sodomy law unconstitutional. The decision is based in large part on the creation of the fundamental right to privacy that protects intimate sexual relations between heterosexuals and homosexuals. We hope to be able to use that decision as a basis for future litigation. We would like to thank the Playboy Foundation for its support of that litigation. Its generous assistance made it possible for us to undertake the legal work necessary to achieve this important victory. Rosalind Richter, Executive Director of this legal place in New York. Oh, there's not really a picture, but but that's great. That's a great example of some of the wonderful social differences that Playboy helped to make. This is a really interesting article by someone I had never heard of, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Oop, good heavens. I'll read a little bit of this so you have an intro. Actually, you know what, I'm going to read it first for the intro. let's just dive into the thorniest thicket. For more than a decade, you have been celebrated as a physician and scientist, a woman who won the respect of the scientific community through her pioneering work with terminally ill patients. Then, nearly 2 years ago, your name made surprising headlines because of your involvement with a so-called guru and his followers who claimed to be able to make spirits materialize. Since you were the one to apply rational analysis to the stages of death, many of your scientific peers were shocked that you appeared to have taken up with the fringe believers in life after death. The scandal that erupted also charged bizarre sexual practices and fakery. What do you have to say in general about this? So it's a very interesting article. Obviously, you have to get the magazine to read the whole thing. But I liked a couple of the snippets that they took out of there. I'm still an uptight, logical, square Swiss doctor, a hillbilly, and until a few years ago, I didn't believe in ghosts. But I've had some experiences, personally, that have just blown my mind. Okay, I like that one, and most of her quotes I like, but this one, you tell me what you think about it. I don't know about this one. It would be the greatest tragedy to do away with cancer. Visualize what it would be like. Every house would be full of paralyzed, incontinent old people, and all illness fulfills a function. I don't think I would want her to be my doctor. Interesting sound bites notwithstanding. This is a very long interview, as you can see. No patient should be deprived of free choice. To me, that is a sacred universal law. But there are patients who do not want to know they're dying, and that has to be their choice. I agree with that too, actually. I think that's pretty legit, although sometimes it can cause problems because, like, King Henry VIII, by the time he died, he was such a fat old mean tyrant. People were terrified to death of him. And his doctors were afraid to even tell him that they pretty much reckoned he was dying because it was treason to imagine the death of the king. And so they thought, well, shit, if we tell this dude that he's gonna croak, he's gonna have our heads whacked off for imagining his death, right? So there's one more. When you ask 1,000 people what it was like at the moment they thought they were all about to die, they all share that same out-of-body experience. That's true. It also strikes me as interesting how many people talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. And then from then on, when people talk about their relatives, and they'll frequently see whatever deity it was that they idolized while they were on Earth, and I think that all becomes much more subjective. But what is really interesting to me is that light at the end of the tunnel. Also because I had read, and it really stuck with me, so I hope it's true, that if you were traveling at the speed of light, due to the nature of how light travels, all the stars and the light around you, it would concentrate into a bright light ahead of you. And that sounds a lot to me like how people talk about that light at the end of the tunnel. And I wonder if there's anything to that, or if that's just a coincidence, but I think it's very interesting. Are you the sort of person who sees signs? I don't know, I think I'm kind of halfway in between the two. Oh, this one is so interesting to me. So this is What Kind of Man Reads Playboy. They have a ton of them in most of the articles, but this one is so outdoorsy. Usually they have like the gentleman in the limousine type thing. That was like Hef's big idea, or one of his big ideas when he was making Playboy, is that all the men's magazines were like hunting magazines and fishing magazines and mountain hiking magazines, which are great. I love those magazines. But he was thinking, man, we need a men's magazine that isn't for the outdoorsmen. So it's funny that they got this outdoorsman stuff going on. I mean, I guess they're not exclusionary. You can be an outdoorsman and read Playboy too. But the sort of man who wants to do whatever he does as well as he can and have fun at it. He is as much at home fishing under a big sky as he is in a chic restaurant. He is productive in any setting. He plans, but he isn't a slave to ritual. There is a keen sense of adventure that keeps him on the move. As a Playboy reader, he responds to the advice the magazine provides, advice that makes him a winning competitor. I don't know, I think Hef was a little bit of a slave to his rituals. But then if that's what he wanted to do, I mean, hell, do what you want to do. So this is so interesting. World class Gabriella Brum. Gabriella Brum, Miss West Germany. The Soviets in West Germany. Oh my God. The times. Took the crown, then said, "Stop, Miss World. I want to get off." In London, the moment had come. The judges had decided. Anticipation swept the crowd as it waited to hear who the new Miss World would be. The envelope was opened, the contestants held their collective breath, and the winner was Miss West Germany. Gabriella Brum could not believe her ears. There were tears and cheers as the new Miss World took center stage to receive the crown and begin the endless walk down the runway of fame. In the midst of all the hoopla, one thought was plaguing Gabriella. How on earth do I get out of this? Girl, why'd you get into it? I guess we'll find out. We'll read a little bit more. This reminds me of those Marilyn Monroe pics a little bit, huh? What was that famous movie where they were kissing on the beach and the water flows over them while some music is like, whoa, swelling in the background? Okay. Here she was, the envy of women worldwide, about to embark on an international tour as the symbol of feminine pulchritude, and all she wanted was out. Within 24 hours, Gabriella Brum had her wish. Thanks, but no thanks. She turned in her crown and it was given to Miss Guam, Kimberly Santos. Gabriella was once again just Gabby. The shockwaves ran around the globe. From Greenland to Argentina, the media pounced on the story. The question was why, and speculation ran wild. Gabriella, they learned, was the girlfriend of a film producer and a cameraman who was, horror of horrors, 34 years her senior. From there, it was just a small jump to portraying Benno Bendalam as a jealous Svengali bent on denying Gabriella her place in the sun. The truth was a little short of that, but no less interesting. The imposing 5'11" Miss West Germany was born 18 years ago in Berlin. Ooh, she's 18 and she's dating a dude 34 years her senior? That's really creepy. I have a big age gap between me and my partner too, but I was a grown-ass adult when we met, so that's different. She last saw her father at the age of 3. Her mother has since remarried. Quiet, introspective, and fiercely independent, Gabriella had no boyfriends and no interest in having one until at 17 she met Creepy Town. She speaks German naturally and a little French and clipped English with an accent, and which is as ingenuous as it is endearing. As she talks, it becomes obvious that she is as unconcerned about the flap she has caused as she is about her world-class body. Only Creepo is important to her. She is understandably angry at the press. They wrote so many stupid things that are not true about me and my boyfriend. If you tell them the truth, they don't want to hear. The real story was that I quit because I wanted to go to school for costume design. I didn't want to take a whole year off. If I wanted to quit, I quit. If Creepo asks me to quit, okay, but only I decide. Good for you, girl. Her odyssey began when she was asked to take part in a film festival pageant in her native Berlin. She won the pageant and then was asked to try for the title of Miss Berlin. She won that too, which led to the Miss West Germany preliminary and the Miss World contest. To her surprise, she also won that and found herself in London for the big show. She was not an enthusiastic contestant. I hate these contests. I just wanted the money. I have to make a living. Good for you. That's kind of funny. Although, I mean, yeah, girl, make your money. But also, that's kind of shitty that she got this awesome thing that wasn't important to her and it was so important to other people. Like, that's kind of rotten. Actually, winning the Miss World title was a possibility she did not even consider. And after reading the Miss World contract, she wondered exactly what she had won. I would have gotten about $50,000. Because my father was English, I have dual citizenship. So 40% of that would have to go to taxes in Britain, and then 25% would go to the Miss West Germany Corporation because I have that contract. Jeez, 40% of it goes to taxes in Britain? Unbe-fucking-lievable, man. Taxes are out of control, you guys. We pay way too many effing taxes. We should have like an opt-out system. If you want all the social benefits of paying your taxes, then you gotta fork over 40%. But if you want to just go on yourself and, you know, Wild West it, then you don't have to pay any taxes. But then I guess the police won't investigate when you get murdered. They don't really do a good job of that anyway. I don't know. I'm a little cynical today, you guys. I'm sorry. Finish lines. May playmate Gina Goldberg is a lively nomad who's about to put down some roots. Let's talk about the future, says Gina Goldberg. My past has been just too depressing. Born in the seaport of Turku, Finland's third largest city, she was raised by her grandparents. It was an unhappy childhood, is all Gina cares to offer on the subject. At 16, she moved to Helsinki to seek her fortune. But she wasn't thrilled by the job that she landed at as a supermarket clerk. I lasted about 6 months, she said, and then moved on to Stockholm. There, and subsequently in several other European cities, she dished up Big Macs at McDonald's. She lived in Hamburg, Munich, Athens. Now we gotta go to the next page. Where she joined a Swedish dance company, London and Paris, where she became an au pair for an American family and studied at Sorbonne. At the end of 6 months, the family she was working for went back to the States. Since I'd heard so many good things about America, I decided to go there myself. It was summer and New York was hot and rainy, she said, and I was all alone. I decided I needed some sunshine, so I took a Greyhound from New York to LA. What a trip. I spent nearly a week on the bus. Damn, that sucks. A week on the bus? Hell no. Arriving in downtown Los Angeles, she went directly to Hollywood, expecting glitter and stardust. What she found was a creep following her down the boulevard. Damn. I was really scared, so I jumped into the first cab I saw, which turned out to be a lucky break because the driver was very nice and helped me locate a place to stay. That could have gone much worse, but that's good. Wow. Her luck continued to improve. She got her own place, made friends, got married, briefly, and signed with a talent agent. He booked me as an extra in a few films. Just minor stuff, like playing a Vegas showgirl in the upcoming movie Jane Mansfield. I put together a modeling composite. Is that like a portfolio? Then a friend with an eye for beauty got her an appointment at Playboy's Studio West, with the results you can see here. Gina would like to become an actress, but unlike many starstruck beauties, she is sensibly pursuing a plan B. I can't go back to McDonald's anymore. I need to do something creative. So if acting doesn't work out, I'd like to start my own business, perhaps a boutique or a beauty salon. I'm going to study business administration, just in case I need something to fall back on. That, we suspect, is the attitude that kept this high-spirited nomad landing on her feet. Yay! I love the ones that go out horizontally as well. Gina Goldberg. Goals: to become a successful singer, actress, and to open my own club for aspiring artists. That's legit. Turn-ons: music, nature, animals, good food, healthy living, cars, sunshine, caring people, freedom. Yeah. Turn-offs: drugs, violence, smoke, pollution, cruelty to all living things, selfish, cynical people, war. Oh no, I better stop being cynical. I'm not usually cynical. I'm just in a mood. Favorite books: Les Miserables, books on science and psychology, and also self-instructive books. Favorite movies: Ben-Hur, The Deer Hunter, Some Like It Hot, La Dolce Vita, Elmer Gantry, and most 50s movies. Right on. Favorite musicians: Stevie Wonder, The Beatles, Billy Joel, Janis Joplin, Donna Summer, Barbra Streisand, Bee Gees. Favorite sports: swimming, jogging, skiing, ice skating, tennis, horseback riding, baseball, camping. Biggest joy: traveling and taking care of animals. Oh, and here are some more pictures. The doctor says it's okay if you're really careful. Oh my god. Okay, so here's that Dorothy Stratten one that we're gonna skip over actually, but I wanted to show you the beautiful picture of Dorothy. We love you, Dorothy. Rest in peace. Okay, so I recently have been coming across a bunch of Leroy Neiman paintings and going on about how they remind me of the Impressionists, especially Toulouse-Lautrec, who was famous for his portraits of the Moulin Rouge can-can dancers and the like. And it was so funny that in this next one I came across, he's painting the Eiffel Tower, or illustrating, or whatever in the heck. So that just seemed serendipitous. This is our new spring line. They're showing these in all the best houses. Girls of the Adriatic Coast. Oh boy, I love this one. Pictorial essay. Sooner or later, the Western world was bound to find out about the many splendored young things crowding the eastern shore of the Adriatic Sea. But why wait for word of mouth when you've got eyewitnesses? And we have one. Staff photographer Pompeo Posar, born in Trieste and raised in Zagreb, Yugoslavia. Having found and photographed women from all over the world for our Girls Of features, Pompeo turned his eye to the sights of his own youth for this one. In fact, the whole thing was his idea. He would combine the scenic landscapes of Yugoslavia's Adriatic. I'm going to read a little bit more because it's continued soon, but I want to show you. Oh, I just love that. Something so James Bond and exotic and escapist about it. Look at that beautiful girl on the beautiful balcony. Okay, let's see. On page 204. Oh yeah, it's this one, I think. Ah, come here. Oh, what the heck? Adriatic coast with the beauty of its women, both of which have missed being fully appreciated in the West. Posar combed the area for more than 2 months, selecting and cajoling its frequently somewhat shy lovelies to pose for the pictures on these pages. Maybe he shouldn't have cajoled them. Maybe he should have just found willing ones. I'm glad that we've learned since the 80s. There was a girl who missed her photo shoot because her father had locked her in her room for staying out dancing too late the night before. She sounds like she'd be a good one, though. There were others who made appointments but canceled at the last minute. But in the main, Yugoslavian women showed they come a long way since the dirndl and the babushka. That's not surprising. Female college enrollment has increased by more than 1,500% since 1939. Virtually all careers are open to women, many of whom wear the same fashions as their Parisian or Roman counterparts. I guess back then they really thought of this area as like the backwater, like hillbillies or whatever, like Europe's West Virginia or something. I don't know. Let's look at some more beautiful pics. Oh, I love this one. I think it's my favorite of the series. Isn't that cool? I gotta ask, why do you even put these pictures in there? It's so small, we can't see anything, Playboy. Ooh, and I love this one. Gorgeous. Look at these most pointless pictures in the world down here. Like, I can't, even in real life. I can't see. Oh my god. Look at that beautiful European city behind her. Also, look at her, of course. Isn't she beautiful? Sorry. Oh, she's got the best boobs I ever saw. Damn. Those are natural too, I bet you anything. All right, beautiful girls. Is there something else right there? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mark this one. I just remembered. Okay, this is famous quotes from movies. I'd not heard this one, but it cracks me up. Said by Kim Novak to Elizabeth Taylor in The Mirror Cracked. Darling, you've not only kept your fabulous figure, you've added so much to it. Very body positive. This is just a cool advertisement for Nakona boots, which always reminds me of my cattle ranching days. Although actually I was a ranch hand on a guest ranch. And then we had family who had a cattle ranch, and I did high school rodeo and stuff. So I can't say that I was a cattle rancher, but I was cattle rancher adjacent. All right. Oh, come on, bitch. Oh, I love this. Playboy, the name of the game in Atlantic City. I know it's Atlantic City, but doesn't it look like Las Vegas? Oh, I love Las Vegas. Marvelous. Look at the showgirls. Look at the gambling. Look at the bunnies. Oh my god, that is totally based off the picture of Dorothy Stratten. Is it not? Tell me that's not her. That is 100% her. From when she worked at Century City, but her outfit was silver back in the day. I should take a picture of that and send it to some of my forums where we talk about Playboy stuff. What's this? Oh, this is for... I believe it started with an innuendo about an excess of salt in a costume julienne. Wow, ladies! They need more lady duels back in the day. Oh, this cowgirl reminded me of the Girls Next Door episode where they're all talking about Sally Rand's nude ranch when they go horseback riding. She looks like she's from Sally Rand's nude ranch. I love Sally Rand. famous burlesque dancer back in the day. This is another Playboy Club advertisement, but I just love it. I think it's so pretty, that old school photography and everything. I guess this isn't too old school, it's just 1980s, but it looks really cool. If only that kind of energy could be harnessed. I think it's called Viagra. Did you know? This is only something that I heard on a random documentary that I just watched the other day. So, ancient Egyptian tombs, they have these blue lotuses all over town, right? In the hieroglyphs and stuff. And you always see the priestesses with lotuses and all of this stuff. And people didn't know what really the properties of the blue lotus were, and if people were getting high off it or what was going on. So they did some studies on it, and it turns out it's very similar to the ginkgo plant. Fuck, what's the ginkgo plant called? Something ginkgo. Anyway, it's well-being and kind of acts like a natural Viagra in some cases. So that makes a lot of sense to me why they were really into that blue lotus. Yay! Okay, the last thing here is my favorite, the granny. The granny cartoons are my fave. He fought for what he believed in, Lord, trying to protect what was his'n. But you know old granny, she don't take no for an answer. Granny! Going around town scandalizing everyone all the time, granny. Alright, I do feel a little more cheerful now. Thanks so much for joining me, friends and neighbors, for another Playboy review. And next time we'll probably delve into that Dorothy Stratten episode, article. I'm really bad with my words sometimes. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Now don't do nothing I wouldn't do.